Welcome to Kahani Bar, a cocktail of stories in English and Hindustani. I am Malika, and today's story is Jhun, the gold anklets that never stopped dancing, from the collection Whispers from Old Delhi, written by Neerja K. In the tangled lanes of Old Delhi, where time folds in upon itself like ancient parchment, there stands a Haveli, swallowed by the long shadows of centuries, shrouded in layers of dust from passing ages. It is a place the locals avoid even in daylight. Its doors are forever shut, its balconies sagging with age, wild greenery claiming its very core. And yet, it stands, defiantly, challenging time itself. On certain full moon nights, gold anklets are heard dancing inside. The rhythm is soft, almost innocent. But the locals say, do not be fooled by its innocence. No one admits to hearing them, but everyone does. It was on one such full moon night that Ayan, a young history student drawn to forgotten places, followed the sound. The anklets chimed softly at first. Delicate, playful, teasing, almost inviting. The sound drifted from behind an iron-studded wooden door, half hidden by wild creepers. The Haveli loomed before him, its arched entrance breathing out cold air, scented with dust, rose water, and something far more elusive, like grief. The door creaked open at his touch. Hesitant, Ayan stepped inside. Moonlight spilled across a vast courtyard. Broken pillars stood like silent sentinels, and old, rickety brass chandeliers hung overhead. A veranda wrapped around three sides of the courtyard. Dusty doors lined the walls, their once blue paint cracked and faded by centuries. Ayan's gaze was drawn to one door in particular, a large door at the center of the wall facing the entrance. He began to cross the courtyard. The moment his foot crushed the dry leaves of centuries beneath him, an eerie sound echoed through the space. He froze. And then the chandeliers flickered to life. That was when Ayan realized the mystic sound of anklets was coming from behind the large door. Once painted a brilliant gold, it was now weathered, chipped, and faded. Fear rose within him. He wanted to turn back, to run, but he could not. An unseen force overtook him, guiding his steps as though he were under a spell. Something beckoned. Before he knew it, he was standing in front of the door. He pushed it gently. It opened into a long gallery, a vast corridor. The anklets fell silent. The stillness was deathly. Old faded portraits lined the walls. Ayan walked slowly until he reached the far end. He stopped. There, encased in an exquisitely ornate frame, hung a life-sized canvas, unlike the others. It was completely black. No image, no form, just a depthless void, like a window opening into the dark night. Ayan stood motionless, his eyes searching the darkness. The anklets chimed again. At the base of the canvas appeared two delicate feet, adorned with gold anklets. The tiny, fine bells seemed trembling on the still feet, creating soft music like a shiver. As Ayan's gaze traveled upward, the rest of the image emerged, slowly, as though his eyes themselves were painting it into being. Soon, she stood before him, the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Her silk lehenga shimmered in deep maroon and gold. Pearls cinched her waist. She was unmistakably a dancer. Her eyes were dark and luminous, too alive, though a trace of sorrow drifted through them. A flirtatious smile slowly spread upon her rose-petal lips. Paintings do not smile. Ayan thought. What is happening? As he stepped closer, the air thickened. The anklets rang again. This time from within the hall. Her lips curved into a softer smile. Her eyes twinkled and blinked. Slowly, impossibly, she raised her right hand and extended it towards him. The delicate, live and warm hand emerged from the painting, adorned with rings and bangles that whispered as they brushed together. Her fingers trembled as though she had waited centuries for this moment. "Come," she said, not aloud, but inside his head. The moment Ayan touched her hand, the world shattered. The Haveli vanished. The warm hand pulled him in, through layers of paint, silk, and time itself. Ayan found himself standing in a royal court, ablaze with oil lamps and music. Gold glittered, silk shimmered. The dancer, no longer a painting, stood before him, breathless and alive, her face lit with joy. A voice called out, "Zohra Jan, do not keep us waiting. Begin the mehfil." Zohra danced. With slow, fluid movements, she glided across the marble floor. Such grace, such beauty. Ayan had never witnessed anything like it. Ayan felt that Zohra was dancing only for him. A courtier standing behind him whispered,
"She dances not for pleasure, but for survival."
And then, like a film unfolding, the story revealed itself. He continued. Zohra had been the jewel of a Mughal noble's court, her talent admired, her beauty coveted. A young prince had promised her love and freedom. She believed she would escape the gilded cage of performances and cruel patrons. But devotion was answered with betrayal. On the night she was to flee, the prince never came. Accused of conspiring against the court, Zohra was imprisoned within the very Haveli that had once celebrated her. Her anklets were broken, her portraits commissioned, not to honor her, but to erase her, freezing her forever as an object of beauty, not a woman with a voice. She danced one final time, alone, unheard, and died before dawn. Her soul, bound to the painting, still waits. Ayan turned to ask more, but there was no one behind him. In an instant, everything vanished. Zohra, the chandeliers, the silks, the splendor. Every element disappeared as if in thin air. Ayan found himself standing outside the entrance of the Haveli, half covered by wild creepers. The gates were shut. The structure stood silent, dusty and abandoned. Morning sunlight struggled to penetrate its walls. Confused, Ayan walked away, convincing himself it had all been a dream. Yet something within him had changed. As he walked, he felt something tangled around his fingers. He looked down. A piece of golden maroon silk lay entwined in his hand. To this day, on quiet nights in Old Delhi, when anklets chime, some say Zora is still dancing, not to lure the living, but to ensure her tragedy is never forgotten. And Ayan? What became of him, you may wonder? Ayan, who had never believed in true love, who had once laughed at friends in pursuit of it, is now often found seated in silence on nights washed by the full moon. He lingers in thought, dwelling upon the depth of the love he witnessed that night. His fingers closing around a small piece of silk. No, not merely silk, but a fragment of the past, tender and irrevocable.
This is Malika signing off. Keep listening to stories on Kahani Bar. If you enjoy our narrations, please follow, share, and leave a review. It helps us bring more stories to life. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep listening. Take care.